Hello, I hope this finds you enjoying this beautiful day on Good Friday. I thought I'd send you a little devotion for on Good Friday. It's based on John chapter 19, verses 14 through 19. It was the day of preparation of the Passover. It was about noon. "Here's your king," Pilate said to the Jews. But they shouted, "Take him away! Take him away! Crucify him!" "Shall I crucify your king?" Pilate asked. "We have no king but Caesar," the chief priests answered. Finally Pilate handed him over to them to be crucified. So the soldiers took charge of Jesus. Carrying his own cross, he went out to the place of the skull, which in Aramaic is called Golgotha. There they crucified him, and with him two others, the one on each side and Jesus in the middle. Pilate had a notice prepared and fastened to the cross. It read, "Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews." Pilate had to decide what to do with the man who claimed to be king. He had people giving him different opinions. The Jewish people said he was guilty of blasphemy. He claimed to be the Son of God, to be the Messiah. To Pilate, that did not mean anything. He wasn't a Jew. So they came up with a different way of charging him. They said he claimed to be king, not only king of the Jews, but king of all the world. For Pilate, there could be only one king that had authority over him, Caesar. For Jesus to claim to be king was treason, and that was punishable by death. But Pilate had an out. Where was the proof? Jesus had not started an army to overthrow the government. He didn't make political speeches asking the people to revolt. Everything he said had a spiritual meaning, not political. To this point, Jesus had said things, but nothing against the Roman government. Pilate had to make a choice. What was he going to do with Jesus? We have the same choice too. What are we going to do with Jesus? Pilate chose not to choose, but by doing so, he made a choice. The same is true for us. We can let him be king of our lives. We can reject him from being our king and rule over our lives, or we can be like Pilate and not make a choice at all. But isn't not making a choice making one? Those of you reading and listening to this, I'm sure you've already made the choice of making him your king. But there are those out there in the world where we live that haven't made a choice. They haven't rejected him necessarily, but they haven't made him king either. Some people have let other things be their king, like money, family, friends, activities, anything that's the most important thing in their lives. It doesn't mean these things aren't good in their own right, it just means they have priority. But Jesus wants to be the most important thing in our lives. He wants to be our king. He doesn't want us to give up what we have. He just wants to be number one. And like Pilate, we have a choice. What will that choice be?